Hello and welcome to this presentation regarding the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, at the University at Albany. The Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act was enacted in 1974 and governs the disclosure of education records that are maintained by an education institution like UAlbany, as well as who has access to these records. You may already be familiar with FERPA, but I'd like you to keep in mind that different schools may vary in the way that they administer FERPA. So what you may have seen at another school may not be the same way that the University at Albany administers FERPA. Under FERPA, rights belong to the student at a college or university, regardless of their age, even if they are under 18. I'll say that one more time. Under FERPA, all rights belong to the student. And that's one of the most significant changes you'll experience as a parent or guardian with a student in college, is that difference in access to your student's education records. In high school, parents often have access to all of the information about their students, like their grades, attendance, notes from teachers. But in college, the rights and access to that information transfer to the student. So, what do I mean when I talk about student information and the student record? There are two different types of student information that we deal with as a university. The first is called directory information. Directory information is information about the student that the university is permitted, but not required, to share, as long as the student hasn't asked us to suppress this information. Here at the University at Albany, we consider the bulleted list of information on this slide to be directory information. Keep in mind that this is information that we can share, but we are not required to share. Additionally, we do not regularly share this information. Some examples of when we might give this information out is to a local newspaper to let them know which students have graduated, or to an honor society so they can invite students to participate. But if someone were to call the registrar's office and ask for a student address, we would not give that out without determining that it's in the student's best interest. If your student does not want this information released under any circumstances, they should write to the registrar's office so that we can have a conversation with them about that. Now that we know what directory information is, we can talk about personally identifiable information, or PII. All student information that is not directory information is called personally identifiable information. And PII is information that we are unable to release without the student's written consent. One of the most common questions we get from parents and guardians here in the registrar's office is to see their students' grades. Parents and guardians want to check in to see how their student is doing and make sure they're being successful in college. While I understand that, under FERPA, the university cannot share grades with parents and guardians because grades are personally identifiable information. Now, there are no more report cards or grades being mailed home, so you might be wondering how you can see your student's grades. Well, your student receives their grades through their MyUAlbany portal at the end of every semester. So, if you'd like to see your students' grades, you can ask them to log into MyUAlbany and show you. They have access to their unofficial transcript 24/7 online through MyUAlbany. The university cannot release grades to parents or guardians. Sometimes I have parents and guardians ask, I don't need the grades, I just need to know if they're passing. Well, under FERPA, the university cannot tell you how your student is doing in class, what classes they're registered for, what time they have class, who their professors or advisors are, or if they're attending their classes. If you need any of this information, you will need to obtain it directly from your student. On the previous slide, I said that the university cannot release PII without the student's written consent. There is a form on the registrar's website that your student can complete and returned to the registrar's office in order to allow the release of their personally identifiable information to a third party, such as a parent or a guardian. If the registrar's office has this written consent on file and you wish to access parts of your student's records, we can set up a Zoom call with you and your student where we will ask you to show us photo ID so that we can verify your identity and then discuss your student's record. This is the only way we are able to release personally identifiable information to third parties, such as parents or guardians. No information is given to parents over the phone, by email, or by fax because we cannot verify your identity via those methods. I want to be clear that this process of obtaining written consent from your student and meeting over Zoom is not the easiest way for you to obtain personally identifiable information about your student. So, what is the easiest way for you to get the information you're looking for? Ask your student. Remember that the student has all of the rights to their own record under FERPA, and they will have access to all of the information that you're looking for. The university provides students with secure 24/7 access to something called the UAlbany Advantage Success Center. And here they can manage their registration, view their class schedule, look at their grades, degree audit, and more. So if you're looking for information and you're able to see your student in person, great! Sit down with them and check the portal together. If you're not in the same place, you can Zoom or FaceTime with your student. Let's take a quick look at the UAlbany Advantage Success Center. When students go to log into the My UAlbany portal, this button at the bottom will bring them to the UAlbany Advantage Success Center. Here, they will use their NetID and password to log in, and this is the same credentials that they use to log into their email and My UAlbany portal, so they will have this login information. Now, I'm going to pause here to make a special request to you as a parent or guardian that you please do not ask your student to share their login information with you. It's actually a violation of the Student Code of Conduct to share login information, and every year we have well-meaning parents who accidentally make changes to their student's record in My UAlbany because they've shared login information. We've had parents drop classes by accident, change their student's name, delete the social security number, and we've had some students who have experienced some really negative accidental consequences from their parents having their login information. So please, this is your student's login. Please leave it to them. Please do not share this. Once your student has logged in, they will be able to see and show you their semester grades, their upcoming semester schedule, any important communications they've had about advising or registration, tutoring opportunities. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, again, sit down with your student or video chat with them, log in, and look at this information together. Outside of the UAlbany Advantage Success Center, your student also has secure 24/7 access to some additional tools in My UAlbany. An unofficial transcript shows every class a student has taken, along with their grades and GPA. A degree audit details a student's degree requirements for a particular major or minor, lists courses completed and grades and GPA, as well as any outstanding degree requirements. And an enrollment verification shows a student's full or part-time status for each semester. Parents often need this document to show insurance companies that a student is full-time, so keep in mind that your student has access to this tool for free, self-service, right through My UAlbany. Finances are another part of the student record. Parents and guardians can access student billing information if and only if your student designates you as an authorized user in ePay. As an authorized user, parents and guardians can view account activity, payment history, see billing statements, make payments, and obtain 1098-T tax statements. FERPA is a complicated topic, and this has just been a quick overview. There are a variety of resources regarding FERPA on our website listed here, but if you have a more specific question, please feel free to write us an email at registrar@albany.edu. Thank you so much for watching.